The thing to understand here is that with the change in international environment, the interest of states change, and when those interests change, there is a change in foreign policy. So we famously say in international relations that there are no permanent enemies in international relation and there are no permanent friends. The same goes with the story of Pakistan and Russia relations. But the story about Alexander Rostovsky is really interesting that the same man became the vice president of Russia after the fall of Soviet Union.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all in our today's podcast. Today we have our guest, my friend who is very intellectual and a keen reader of history, Mian Ghulam Muhammad Azam, who is here with us and will be discussing his opinion, we'll be listening his opinion on Pakistan-Russia's relations. And it will be an interesting session today because he is going to give us his insight, his opinion, and enlighten us about the situation, about the history, and about what we can do by improving Pakistan-Russia relations. Azam, you're welcome to Inside Beacon.
Thank you so much for your kind invitation. It is honor for me to be here for the second time. Our first podcast was really interesting, and I think that this second podcast would be also interesting regarding the Russia and Pakistan relations.
Azam, I'm like we always see different things which are happening between Pakistan and China relations, and that's a brotherhood and friendship now. We can see breakthroughs and interesting things that's also happening between Pakistan and US as well. But I haven't seen any breakthrough about Pakistan and Russia relations. So, if you could please tell us from the very start in the history that what's the situation now and what was the situation before, it will be a discussion.
The thing to understand here is that with the change in international environment, the interest of states change, and when those interests change, there is a change in foreign policy. So we famously say in international relations that there are no permanent enemies in international relation and there are no permanent friends. The same goes with the story of Pakistan and Russia relations. You have talked about Pakistan's relation with China, Pakistan's relationship with USA, but we have never seen a major breakthrough in Pakistan's relationship with Russia. Even when I was a student in a metric class or in 12th class, we had studied about the major powers, a relationship of Pakistan with major powers. Although there were three major powers, we always tried to connect Pakistan with. It was Pakistan with China, Pakistan with Russia, and Pakistan with USA. But we from the beginning understand that Pakistan's relationship with USA are more important, Pakistan's relationship with China are most important, but we have always focused very less on Pakistan's relationship with Russia. But there are very interesting things in relationship with Russia and Pakistan, and in the recent time, the relationships are improving. If we talk about historically, so Pakistan's relationship with Russia could be divided into two different phases. The first go Pakistan's relationship with USSR, then the relationship with Russia after the fall of USSR. So the first thing here is that the relationship established between Pakistan and USSR in 1st May 1948, but Pakistan chose to be in the bloc of USA. In the geopolitics of Cold War, Pakistan and Russia both were on the opposite side of geopolitical ideological confrontation.
Historical talk, the tilt in Pakistan's relations from the very start that we always talk about it, whether it was a good decision or not.
We were on the bloc of USA. We were against communism. But it does not mean that we had no political or diplomatic connection with Russia. It is not right. We had relationship with Russia, diplomatic relationships, and Russia helped Pakistan to build Karachi steel mill. Russia helped Pakistan to build OGDCL. It helped us in building medium frequency radio stations and small frequency radio stations, and also power plants in Muzaffargarh, in Gudu, and Yamshoro.
We were ally of the United States, but we do had connections with Russia, and there was investment in from Russia in Pakistan. from that time as well.
In Karachi steel mill, it was built by Russia. This thing showed that although we were in US's bloc, still Russia had Pakistan in Cold War period. There were the two basic incidents in the Cold War that deteriorated Pakistan's relationship with Russia. And we had been talking about the U-2 plane incident and Soviet invasion.
We'll talk about it in detail.
Yeah, and Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. After invasion of Afghanistan, one thing here to understand is that the Russian engineers still worked in Karachi steel mill in 1980s when we were actually fighting through Mujahideen with USSR and supporting USA.
So we can see that we do have connection with Russia, but that's not that obvious, not that in media, but we do have connections.
We do had and we still have. We still have very good relation.
We'll talk about that how we can improve it and we should improve it because we cannot deny the importance of Pakistan for Russia. We cannot deny the importance of Russia for Pakistan. Okay, that's right. You talked about an incident, and that will be an interesting. The one as that I remember the U2 incident that we discussed, and I still remember the statement of the Russian foreign minister.
The story goes like a U-2 spying a US plane flew from Pakistan, from Peshawar, and it was spying in Russia. It was shot down by Russian Air Force, and then he there confessed that he took off from Pakistan, and the relationship deteriorated and became very intense in 1962 between USSR and Pakistan.
It was from Badabere Air Base.
It was from there, and at that time Nikita Khrushchev basically threatened Pakistan that it would nuke Peshawar.
Yes, nuke Peshawar, and he also said that don't play with fire, gentlemen. So I think he contacted the Pakistani president Ayub Khan that time. I'm not sure, or the Pakistani foreign minister. Okay, that's right. And what was the another incident happened? I think the Pakistan Air Force is very cruel to the Russian weapons because this is when we talk about the MiG-29. So that was a Russian jet. If you talk about that at the 1988 incident, if you can talk about it.
So another interesting story goes like a Russian pilot named Alexander Rostovsky flew Su-25 and entered into airspace of Pakistan. It was shot down by Pakistani Air Force. We used at that time, I think, so F-16. F-16 shot down Su-25, and that pilot was then captured by Pakistan Army. And as a prisoner of war, he was then returned back to USSR.
Returning these soldiers or war prisoners, that's Pakistan's history.
We had also, there is a history that we have also shot down MiG of India and then captured Abhinandan and sent him back. But the story about Alexander Rostovsky is really interesting, that the same man became the vice president of Russia after the fall of Soviet Union. And then this is the same man who came back to Pakistan as a Russian vice president and put the first brick of relationship between Russian Federation and Pakistan. And till that time, the relationship between Russian Federation and Pakistan have been really good.
That's very interesting that he was thankful to Pakistan and was.
I would also not be surprised that someday Abhinandan may become any political figure because. You know that there is a history that Pakistan army has shot down those Russian toys,
Still, in India think that they can use these Russian weapons and MiG-29 can work against us. Isn't foolish?
We had the experience of shutting down those Russian toys 50 years ago, and they are trying to play with us with those toys in 21st century.
We can see that we do have this history of ups and downs, and a silent relationship is seen between two countries. What are the major challenges and how we can overcome those challenges?
So, first of all, it's really important to understand that what are the areas where Russia and Pakistan cooperate. Then we can talk about the challenges that Pakistan and Russia face.
So we can see that what is the mutual interest of both countries, and where we can cooperate.
So the two important things which I personally consider that where Russia and Pakistan had converging interest. Number one is connectivity, regional connectivity, and the second is about the threat of Taliban and instability in Afghanistan. The instability and the Taliban rule would not only impact Pakistan but also Central Asian states and Russia. So both of the states, Pakistan and Russia, at multilateral forums are trying to engage with each other and trying to build a kind of stability in Afghanistan. Pakistan and Russia had been involved in regional anti-terrorism structure under a Shanghai Cooperation Organization to face this challenge. And then Pakistan and Russia are also facing another challenge of narcotics coming from Afghanistan. Both of them are trying to collaborate to curb the trans-border supply of those narcotics. The other thing here to understand is that Russia and Pakistan both are trying to cooperate on the, we can say, regional connectivity. So we can see multiple initiatives of regional connectivity of Central Asia with Pakistan, of Russia with Pakistan. For example, CASA 1000, an electricity supply project from Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, and then to Pakistan. Then we have Trans-Afghanistan Railway, TAPI, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline. Then we have Russia, Iran, Pakistan, India gas pipeline, and there is an important trade route where Pakistan is also trying to cooperate with Russia, and it is international north-south transport corridor. And once Pakistan Minister Khurram Dastagir named this transport corridor as RUPEC and tried to integrate RUPEC into CPEC, like China-Pakistan Economic Corridor.
And that's an interesting gesture that Pakistan is, if we are interested in a good relationship and friendship and brotherhood.
Yeah, we are just not cooperating only on regional connectivity or on Afghanistan. We are also cooperating on economy and military initiative. For example, in 2024, Pakistan had a defense pact with Russia that improved our relation or the defense relation, and Pakistan got some Mi-35 attack helicopters from Russia. After that, we had been doing Druzhba friendship, which means friendship military exercises, and Amman naval exercises in Arabian Sea. We can also see economic relation of Pakistan with Russia in trade. We are doing trade with Russia in 2023. The overall trade between Russia and Pakistan surpassed $1 billion. And this is in history that Pakistan and Russia never had a trade above $1 billion. We have been buying oil and crude oil from Russia and processing it in Pakistan.
So isn't expensive due to the sanctions?
No, even after the transportation cost, the Russian crude oil is more cheaper than the crude oil we buy from Saudi Arabia.
Asking, do you think is this easy for Russia to avoid Pakistan due to its geographical location, due to Afghanistan as our neighbor? Due to I think if we are going very close or closer to the United States, it's not in the interest of Russia. So how do you think they do have interest in Pakistan?
Here is the important thing to understand that Pakistan has very important geostrategic location. Pakistan can connect Russia to Arabian Sea and through Arabian Sea to the whole of the world. Russia cannot ignore this. Russia now, after the relationship of Russia with Europe and after the Ukraine war, Russia is using another policy like pivot to the east. So it is looking toward the countries in South Asia. In South Asia, India has always been a strong ally of Russia. But after India's relationship or increasing relationship with USA, those relationship with Russia are decreasing, and that is resulting in improving relationship of Russia with Pakistan. Russia cannot ignore Pakistan because of Afghanistan, because of geostrategic location of Pakistan, because of regional connectivity. And in Margla dialogue happened a few weeks ago by IPRI, US analyst Daniel Rundy said that it is first time in history USA is not looking at Pakistan through the lens of Afghanistan or through the lens of terrorism, but through the lens of Pakistan. Right now, even USA understands that what limitation Pakistan have in its cooperation with USA and in its cooperation with China or Russia. Everyone in the world understands that why we are having our relationship with Russia.
So we can see that Pakistan cannot be ignored, but still the challenges are too much and need to be resolved.
Yeah, there are multiple challenges in relationship with Russia. The first important challenge is the pressure of USA. USA would not allow that much leverage to Pakistan to fully depend on Russia, and then we can see that Russian relations with Indians are so strong. Russia-India relation, we can say, is a very stronger relation than Russia and Pakistan relation. Then we have the another threat of Afghanistan. Without the stability in Afghanistan, the connectivity is not possible. Another important issue here is the transport cost. If we are going to do trade with Russia, transportation cost is very high. Because we know that trade has to come from Black Sea and then to Mediterranean Sea and then to Red Sea. And we also don't have proper infrastructure, and major thing here is that Russia is facing a lot of sanctions.
How many sanctions? Like 100 or 200, 500? How much?
In 19 January 2025, there were more than 24,000 sanctions on Russia, and this is a challenge. This is a challenge to Pakistan, that how Pakistan would improve its economic relationship with Russia after those number of sanctions. And also, another important thing here to understand is about the transaction. If we are going to do trade with Russia,
Like we don't have proper transaction platforms like banking system that we can exchange monetary values of things. We cannot exchange that.
Russian banks are under sanction by the West, and we cannot have do transaction directly with Russia. So for that, Pakistan had also tried to do a barter trade agreement with Russia. So they would give us lumens, and we would provide with them rice, same quantity of rice.
That will be fine. And do you think like Pakistan is trying to balance things the way India is trying to balance it between United States and or is this a situation that we don't have good relations with Russia, so they don't have good relations with China? What's the situation? How do you compare it?
So we see that during the Cold War era, India was part of non-aligned movement, and Pakistan was in USA's bloc. But the things are going opposite right now. Pakistan is trying more to be a non-ally, and India is trying to be ally of USA against China, and especially to counter China. And India knows that USA is using it against China, or the rise of economic power of China.
So we can expect that soon Donald Trump is going to say that no, actually the 8 planes were shot down by Pakistan during the recent war between Pakistan and India.
Donald Trump could do anything, but the thing is that if we look into the rational calculation, then USA has to support India to counter China in the region, to counter the influence of China in the region, and that is. We can say a blessing in Pakistan and Russia relation, because if India is going to be a tool in the hand of USA, then Russia knows that, and then Russia would try to balance its relation with Pakistan.
That's amazing. So it's clear that we don't need to just focus on China and United States. We need to diversify our relations with different countries, and Russia is an important destination for that as well. So it can bring Pakistan more benefits.
There is really important to think to talk on one thing, and that's how we are going to solve those challenges which I have already talked about. So as far as the transportation cost is considered, even after buying crude oil from Russia, we have talked earlier that it is cheaper, but we can go for regional trade routes. We can bring that trade from Central Asia, then from Iran to Pakistan. Then for the transaction, we can use barter trade system. And as far as sanctions are considered, for sanctions, we can do trade on those things where West has not sanctioned Russia, for example, in food items and over leather and over medical instruments and medicines, all those things where West has not basically sanctioned Russia. We can do trade over those.
What's your message for Pakistan's government, for policy researchers, experts, diplomats, and also people like us who sit and talk about Pakistan? So what that should do for this relations?
My message would be like that. For Pakistani student, I would say that as they have to study in Europe, they can choose Russia to study. Russia is also providing you with multiple scholarships. For analysts, I would say that they can do more and more research in Russia and Pakistan relations because you know that Pakistan, as talking about the Pakistani public, Pakistani people have criticized the USA over and over again. They have also said death to USA. Talking about the public opinion, but public has never ever said anything bad about Russia. They have never criticized Russia.
I think the state of Pakistan and the government of Pakistan, they also don't have any clear-cut conflict or any disagreement on international level with Russia.
In current geopolitical scenario, we have no divergence of interest, but we have more converging interest with Russia. So government can see for more political and diplomatic and military ties with Russia. We can also have technological cooperation with Russia, defense cooperation with Russia. We can send our students there. We can have cultural and people-to-people contacts with Russia that would improve our relations.
For Pakistan's exports, US is the top exporters from Pakistan. What is the situation of Pakistan's exports with the Russia?
Pakistan, the major country where Pakistan said it's good is USA. But recently, if we look into the graph for last 1 decade, the trade with Russia has improved from few $100 million to $1 billion, reaching in 2023. But if we do a balance of import and export balance, Russia is getting more benefit than Pakistan.
Azam, thank you so much for this interesting discussion on Pakistan.
It was an honor to come here and share my views on Russia-Pakistan relations. And here I would like to add that for this whole debate of 2 days, a book, Pakistan-Russia Relation, by Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, was really helpful because it covered multiple domains and it included multiple research papers from very famous authors of Pakistan.
So it was our today's discussion with Mian Ghulam Muhammad Azam, and we need to improve our relations with Russia, and Russians should also play role in this. This was one of the reasons that we have recorded our today's podcast in English, so we can reach our Russian audience as well. That Pakistan is open, our platforms are open. We are more interested in good relations and friendships with all the countries around the world, including Russia. We'll come up with an interesting session, an interesting podcast for you people next time. Keep watching Inside Weekend. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.